Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today we're going to do our second playthrough of Marvel Champions. This time we're going to take Klaw on. We're going to play Klaw at the expert level with the Masters of Evil encounter set. We're going to play with Iron Man and I'm doing Iron Man leadership and my favorite Captain Marvel with Justice. So you can see here we will be doing the underground distributions as our scheme. Klaw is going to be trying to complete this. This is a two-part, unlike the one part that we saw with Rhino. So let's go ahead and jump in. The attack on the SHIELD facility has been linked to an underground weapons network. So this just tells us what it contains, and as a setup, search the encounter deck for the defense network side scheme and reveal it, shuffle the encounter deck, and advance to stage 1B. Your investigations reveal that the criminal enterprise is operated by Klaw, an old rival of the Avengers. So you can see here we will move to quest card 2, I'm so used to Lord of the Rings, scheme card 2, after we get a total of 12 threat on here. Starts with 0. We'll place 1 times the amount of players during the threat phase. We also have a when revealed. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play engaged with the first player. I'm going to have Carol Danvers or Captain Marvel be first player. We also have Klaw here. Since I'm doing expert, we're doing level 2. We're starting with level 2 and then level 3. This also has a when revealed, so you can see there's going to be a lot more that we set up at the beginning of the game, unlike with Rhino. So we have when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal Klaw and reveal it, shuffle the encounter deck. He'll have a total of 36 health, but you're going to see that the Immortal Klaw gives him plus 10 health, so he'll actually start at 46. There's one other item I want you to see. There's a forced interrupt. This means every time Klaw attacks, when Klaw attacks, give him 1 additional boost card for the activation. So he only attacks for 1, but you're going to be flipping 2 cards instead of 1 when he attacks, and a lot of times it's going to be more than 1. And then he schemes for 2. Here we have our first side scheme, the Defense Network. And it says, Klaw's criminal enterprise is protected by a game of hired thugs. So it starts with 2 threat, plus we place 1 additional threat per player. So we're going to have a total of 4 threat. Now you're going to see I have these tokens for this game. I did get upgraded tokens. I'll put in the description below the Etsy shop that I got them from. I really like them. The only ones that I'm not using are the ones for the health of the heroes and of the villain. I kind of still prefer these just because I think it's easier to track that way. But yeah, you'll see I use them for damage. They've got these really cool toughness status tokens. Yeah, really like them. And don't forget, this has the crisis icon. That means we have to get rid of this side scheme before we can remove any other threat on any other scheme. Our other scheme is the Immortal Klaw. It says Klaw's mastery of sound allows him to restore his solid form through a power of sheer will. And this says Klaw gets plus 10 hit points. When the scheme is defeated, he loses that 10 hit points. This gets an acceleration token. So you can see these cool acceleration tokens. Right now, we'll be placing 3 threat per round on the main scheme until we get rid of this. This has a total of 6 threat on it. So I'll grab a 5 and a 1 to denote that. And remember, we can't get rid of any of that threat until we get rid of the 4 threat on the defense network. The final thing we need to do is I'm going to shuffle up the encounter deck and discard cards until we find a minion, and that's going to be engaged with Captain Marvel. Here we have our encounter deck. We'll go ahead and discard cards until we get a minion. Here we go. This is a minion. Now you can see this minion has Surge, but because we're discarding it and then putting it into play, Surge does not take effect. That's nice. And the weapons runner, he's a pretty easy minion, so that's nice. And we discarded Shadow of the Past. I'll take that. Here we have Carol Danvers. Remember, her health is 12, and her hand size will start as 6. Here's our hand of 6 cards. We get to decide, do we want to discard anything? I think we're going to discard 1 for Justice and draw a new one, and we've got Spider-Woman. Ooh, lots of options. That's the thing about this game. Tons of options. Here we have Tony Stark. Now, if you watched Mike's playthrough, he played with Tony and he played with Peter Parker. But just so you guys can see, he has a futurist action. You can draw the top 3 cards of your deck, discard 2 of them, keep 1 in your hand. He recovers for 3. When he's on his Iron Man side, he's a 2-1-1. 2 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense. He has an ability that just states his hand size is +1 to the amount of tech upgrades he has to a maximum of 7. Why that's important is because on his Iron Man side, his hand size is only 1. So as he gets more upgrades, he'll be able to have more and more cards. On this side, his hand size is 6. So let's go ahead and draw. Here we have our hands of 6, and actually I'm okay with it. Looks pretty good. I've got a nice strength here. I've got 2 rocket boots right off the get-go, so that can help us jump to our other side and get a hand size at least of 3 instead of 1. The repulsor blast is also great. Yeah, actually this is a pretty good hand. Let's start off. We'll start with Carol Danvers. Moving into that hero phase, the first thing I think we're going to do is play Jessica Jones, and we're going to use our energy absorption. That's 3 energy resources to put out Jessica. Now, Jessica gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. There are 2 side schemes in play, so right now her thwart level is 3. I'm going to go ahead and use that right now and exhaust her. She will take 1 point of that consequential damage, but then we'll be able to remove 3 of these on the defense network. Perfect. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and use Carol's ability commander and draw a card. Oh, she gets energy channel. I love energy channel. Then we'll go ahead and flip Carol over to the Captain Marvel side. We're going to have her thwart for 2. I know it wastes 1, but at least that will get rid of the defense network. So that is done. Now what we can try and go for is the Immortal Claw if we want. We're then going to go ahead and play Spider-Woman, spending these 3 resources to put her out. When we put Spider-Woman out, it says after Spider-Woman enters play, confuse the villain. So that means the next time that Klaw tries to thwart, he will fail to thwart. So I'll put this confused onto him. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attack with Spider-Woman. She'll take 1 point of consequential damage. But then our weapons runner here needed 2 damage. She can attack for 2. Gone. Finally, we're going to go ahead and just put out the energy channel, so that way we have it ready. When we have extra cards in our hand, we can power it up. We'll move to Tony. First thing we'll do is our Futurist. We'll draw 3 cards from our deck. We get to put 1 into our hand and discard the other 2. Oh, Mark 5 armor. But strength, yeah. Ooh, this is hard. I think I'm going to put the Mark 5 in our hand. Yeah, and discard these 2. We're going to pay for each of the rocket boots with 1 resource from the Repulsor Blast and 1 from the Avengers Mansion. Both are good. This one's going to cost 3. We've got 2 from Energy and 1 from Nick Fury. It hurts to put Nick Fury down or not put him out, but it is what it is. This gives us a total of 6 hit points +1. That's a total of 8 hit points. So we went from 9 to 17. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I am not going to complain about that. Because we were able to play 3 of our upgrades, that means our hand size will be 4 if we flip. Let's flip. We'll flip to Iron Man's side, and then with the Immortal Claw, we'll use 2 of our thwart. So I'm going to exhaust here, and that means we'll have 3 left on here. And hopefully next round maybe we can get rid of that. We didn't do a ton of damage, but we did get ourselves set up pretty nicely. So I'm going to end the hero phase by readying everything. Oh, I should show you guys. This is the first player token. Doesn't that look cool? I love it. I think the tokens look great. And you can see these are double-sided, so when they take 3 damage, you can flip them over. The only thing I don't fully understand is this 1 damage. Look, it's kind of white. Anyways, it looks fine. It just, yeah, you just might want to know that if you're purchasing the tokens. We've drawn up to our hand size. For Captain Marvel, that is 5 when she's on hero form. Iron Man, it is 1, plus he has 3 upgrades, so 4 on his Iron Man side. Now the fun part, villain activation. First things first, we have the threat phase, and we place 3 threat. Normally it'd only be 2, but because we have this acceleration token because of the Immortal Claw, it is 3 that we place on here. 12 will move to the next scheme. Then we're going to have Claw attack. So we start with our first player, Captain Marvel. We're going to have 2 boost cards because she is in hero form. If she was in alter ego form, he'd scheme instead, and then he'd fail because he's confused. He is going to attack Captain Marvel. I think I'm going to take this one on the chin. I'm not going to defend. I'm going to go undefended. So the attack is 1, and then we flip these over. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she just took 5 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she is at 7 health. Iron Man is at 17, so he's definitely going to just take this on the chin. He'll flip 2. He's got 3 plus 1 is 4, so he takes a total of 4 damage. So 17, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's at 13 health. Finally, we're going to grab our encounter cards, and we will have one for each player. Captain Marvel is first, so we'll flip hers first. We have an assault. When revealed in hero form, the villain attacks you. Of course he attacks. So he is attacking for 1 plus 2 boost cards. Do I want to defend? Man, I don't, but I do. Okay, I'm going to defend with Spider-Woman. That's kind of a bummer, but Spider-Woman is going to exhaust to defend. She only has 1 health left. And let's see. Oh, yeah. That would have attacked for 4. So that means Spider-Woman is toast. She's gone. Okay. That was for Captain Marvel. And then we've got Whirlwind here that will engage Iron Man. And he is a 1 scheme to attack. When Whirlwind attacks you, also resolve his attack against each other hero. And he's got 6 health. Finally, our first player token will move over to Iron Man, and Iron Man will be our first player for the next round. To start us off for Iron Man, he's going to use his genius to bring out Maria Hill. It's always genius to get Maria Hill. Her response is, after Maria Hill enters play, each player draws a card. So Iron Man will draw Inspired. Ooh. And Captain Marvel will draw Photonic Blast. I'm then going to go ahead and use Maria Hill and Iron Man for a total of 4 thwart. Once again, I'm wasting 1, but it is what it is. That will get rid of Immortal Claw. So not only will that get rid of the acceleration token, that will also get rid of the 10 extra health that Klaw has. So Klaw right now is at 46. He'll now move down to 36. I'm then going to go ahead and flip Iron Man back over to Tony Stark. And I'm going to use his Futurist action. I'll go ahead and draw 3 cards. And, oh, Pepper Potts, but Hawkeye. Yeah, Pepper Potts is great, but I got to go Hawkeye. Hawkeye is awesome. So I'm going to put Hawkeye into our hand. Then with the 3 final resources in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and put Hawkeye out. So Hawkeye enters play with 4 arrow tokens. These are just generic tokens. And it says, response. After a minion enters play, remove 1 arrow counter from Hawkeye and deal 2 damage to that minion. Nice. I am going to go ahead and exhaust him. He's going to take 1 point of damage, and he's going to do 1 whopping point to Whirlwind. I know it's not great, but I'm trying. I gotta kill that minion. Moving to Captain Marvel, first thing we're going to do is pay for an interrogation room with an interrogation room. This is max 1 per player. After you defeat a minion, exhaust the interrogation room, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Then we're going to do our Photonic Blast here. Hero action, deal 5 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using an energy resource, draw a card. Well, I'm going to pay for it with this energy absorption. 3 for 3. That is 5 damage. That's going to kill the Whirlwind. I'm also going to use that interrogation room, exhausted, since we just defeated a minion, and remove 1 threat from the scheme. And this guy's toast. Don't forget, we get to draw a card as well. We've got a Haymaker. I'm then going to use our ability Rechannel here. I can spend an energy resource to heal ourselves for 1. So we'll go from 7 to 8. And then we get to draw a card. And we get Cosmic Flight. And then I think with Captain Marvel and with Jessica Jones, we're going to go ahead and attack with both. So that will be 4 points of damage. Jessica will take 1 point of damage because of her consequential. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Claw's already down to 32 health. And I kept going back and forth because I really like Daredevil, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to put out Cosmic Flight, spending Daredevil and my other Photonic Blast. That's a cost of 2. It's an upgrade, so we are now considered aerial. You'll see some cards that might have a benefit for being aerial. And we have an Hero Interrupt. When we would take any amount of damage, we can discard this to prevent 3 of it. This will end the round, so I'm going to go ahead and ready everything on the board, and we'll draw up. We now are on Tony Stark's side, so we will draw 6 cards. Captain Marvel will still draw 5. Here we have our hands for the next round. I'm feeling really good, you guys, but usually when I start feeling good is usually when Klaw starts hitting back. So let's see what we're going to do. First, we place 2 more threat on the main scheme. Next, in the villain phase, Klaw would scheme because Tony Stark is in alter ego form, but he's confused, so we'll just discard the confused token. Then we're going to have Klaw attack Captain Marvel. And this is where we are definitely going to use Jessica Jones. She's got 2 damage, so we'll exhaust her to defend. We'll draw 2 cards for our boost. And we've got 1, 2, 3, plus 1 is 4. Yeah, that means Jessica's toast. We've each grabbed our encounter cards. We'll start with Iron Man. He gets, this card gains Surge because he's in alter ego form. So we'll just discard that one, grab a new one. And we've got Melter. The engaged player must defend against Melter's attacks with an ally they control if able. Oh, he attacks for 3. So that he is engaged with Tony Stark. And then we have Claw's Vengeance. When revealed, Claw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So he's getting, Captain Marvel's getting attacked for 1, and I'm going to take it undefended. 1. Ooh, okay. If this activation damages your hero, exhaust your hero. 2. You know what? It's a good time to use it. I'll use Cosmic Flight, so I prevent 3 damage. So we didn't take any damage, so I do not have to exhaust Captain Marvel, because this said if it dealt any damage, and we didn't. And that means the attack is done. Great. So we just have Melter out. Finally, our first player token will move back over to Captain Marvel. First thing we're going to do is discard Heroic Intuition because it has the energy resource. We're going to heal for 1, so we're going to move up to 9. I always like to heal. Plus we get a card draw, and we get energy. Ooh. I always like stunning the villain, so we're going to go ahead and play Mockingbird. We're going to spend 1 of the wild resource here from the Power of Justice and 2 from energy. That's 3 to bring out Mockingbird. Mockingbird will stun Klaw. That means Klaw will not be able to attack Captain Marvel this round. Using both of these characters, we're going to deal 3 out of the 5 damage to Melter. Hopefully Iron Man can take him out. Well, you guys, I'm telling you, hardest part about this game when playing 2 players is remembering everything. Hawkeye has his arrows. He would have used 1 to deal 2 damage to Melter when he first came out. So that would have been 2 damage plus the 3 damage from Mockingbird and Captain Marvel. That'll actually kill Melter, which is great because then we'll exhaust the interrogation room, and that allows us to remove 1 of the 4 threat on the underground distribution. Nice. Thanks, Hawkeye. First thing we'll do with Tony, we'll go ahead and draw our 3 cards as our futurist. Oh, we're going to put Vision into our hand. I don't know if I can get him out, but if I can, that'd be awesome. These 2 will go to the discard pile. Vision is just such a great character. We're going to go ahead and spend 1 here, 1 here, and then we've got the Power of Leadership. So this says double the number of resources this card generates while paying for a leadership blue card. That's a total of 4. We just put Vision out. Spend an energy resource, choose thwart or attack until the end of the phase. He gets +2 of the chosen until the end of the round. We're then going to play Stark Tower. This costs 2. We've got 2 here to finish us off. It says alter ego action. We're going to do this now because we're in the alter ego form right now. Exhaust Stark Tower. Choose a player. That player returns the topmost tech upgrade from their discard pile to their hand. Of course, I thought we had a tech. No, I'm wrong. We don't have one. So I'm not going to exhaust that, but at least I have that out. We're now going to go ahead and flip from Tony back to Iron Man. We're going to go ahead and thwart with Maria Hill. That will remove 2 out of the 3 of the threat left on the underground distribution, but then she's going to be killed by the consequential damage. Then what we're going to do is we're going to attack with all 3 of these. So Iron Man's going to attack for 1. We've got Hawkeye attacking for 1, so it's a total of 2 damage. And he has 1 health left. And then Vision, I wish I had cards left in my hand. Might be a little bit not useful, but while I can do it, I want to do it. I'm going to attack for 2. So 2, 3, 4. We just dealt 4 damage to Klaw. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are at 28. We'll end the hero phase by readying, and we will draw up to our hand size. Here's our hands for the next round. Let's move to the villain phase. First things first, we place our 2 threat. Then Klaw tries to attack Captain Marvel, but can't because he's stunned. Then he's going to attack Iron Man. I think I'm just going to take it on the chin, take it undefended. Oh, we have, if this activation damages you, exhaust your hero. Oh, so Iron Man's going to be exhausted. But Iron Man actually only takes 1 point of damage. So he'll go down to 12, but he will be exhausted for the next hero round. Finally, we will have our encounter cards. We'll start with Captain Marvel. We have a weapons runner. Now this will surge, but the first thing that's going to happen is Hawkeye is going to kill it with one of his arrows. So he's done, but he does surge into Radioactive Man, which Hawkeye will then use one of his tokens. He has one remaining, and Radioactive Man will have 2 points of damage right on him. He's a 1/1, and it says after Radioactive Man attacks you, discard 1 card at random from your hand. Ugh, the biggest thing is 7 health. It's annoying. And then we have Claw's Vengeance. So we're in hero form. Claw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Yeah, I'm going to take that undefended. I've got nothing. I'm already exhausted. So we'll flip both of these. Oh my gosh. That's 3 plus 3. That's 6 plus 1 is 7. That is 7 damage. Oh! Okay, so he was at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He just went down to 5 health. Yeah, you sometimes got to watch that. I mean, it's not often you get 6 total boosts there, but yeah, I mean, when you flip 2 boost cards. Finally, we'll go ahead and move our first player token back over to Iron Man. To start off this round, Iron Man's going to go ahead and play his Power Gauntlets, paying that with his 2 resources, Mockingbird and the Avengers Mansion. He's then going to use the action on Vision, discarding the Power of Leadership. That is a wild resource, so he'll use it as an energy resource, so he can boost Vision's attack up to 4. We will have him take another consequential point of damage, but with 4 damage here, 4, 5, 6, that means we've got 6 damage on Radioactive Man. All we have left is our Powered Gauntlet. We'll exhaust this to deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we'll hit the big man, Klaw. He'll go down to 27. First, for Captain Marvel, we'll use her Rechannel ability to move her up to 10 health. She's almost all the way to full again. Discarding for Justice. That will allow us to draw a card, and we get Crisis Interdiction. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and play Heroic Intuition using the Power of Justice, which is considered 2 resources since this is a Justice card. I'm going to put this on to Iron Man's. Iron Man will actually have 3 thwart instead of 2. He gets +1. Then we'll go ahead and use Mockingbird, taking another point of damage on Mockingbird and exhausting her to do the final point of damage for Radioactive Man. So he is toast. Now, I believe we still get to exhaust this because it is considered you. So after you defeat, you is considered me as the player. So I have defeated a minion. I am going to exhaust this and remove 1 of the threat on the scheme. And then finally, I'll just use Captain Marvel herself, hitting Klaw for 2, down to 25. We'll go ahead and end the hero phase. We'll ready everyone. Iron Man is, his hand size will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, which is nice. And Captain Marvel will also be 5. Here are our hands for this round, and it looks like we've got 2 more of our tech upgrades. Great. If we get those out, our hand size will be 7. First things first, we increase our threat by 2, so we have 4 now on the underground distribution. And Klaw is going to attack, so we are going to have Klaw attack Iron Man first. We're going to actually use Mockingbird over on Captain Marvel's side to defend. I love that about this game. We can choose anyone to defend. So she will defend, and Klaw is hitting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Mockingbird is gone, but that saved, I mean, that would have killed Iron Man, actually. And then we'll go ahead and have our second attack against Captain Marvel. Now, Marvel has 10 health, so I'm just going to let her soak it. Ooh, okay, 1, 2. Give the villain a tough status card. So we'll place a tough here. So Captain Marvel was hit for 3. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Not the end of the world. She'll be able to recover from that. There are literally 2 cards left in the encounter deck, so you know what's going to happen. We are going to have to place a +1 threat token that'll be out for the rest of the game now. Now we'll be placing 3 threat around instead of 2. Yeah, that's that acceleration token. We'll start with Iron Man. So we'll flip this over. Oh, we have an armored guard. 3 health. He is a guard. So while he's engaged with Iron Man cannot attack Klaw. And he comes out with a tough status card. Oh, that's automatically hit, though, because we have Hawkeye. Hawkeye's final token will do 2 points of damage. That'll just get through the tough status. So now the armored guard is just available to be hit. And then for Captain Marvel, we have attached to Klaw. After Klaw attacks and damages a character, stun that character. Oh, and +1. We're going to have to definitely get rid of this. Just since this is the first time you've seen it, I just wanted you to see what it looks like. So now Klaw's technically attacking for 2 instead of 1. So yeah, we definitely want to get rid of this. Our final step will be moving first player back over to Captain Marvel. Let's do it. Well, the only thing Captain Marvel is going to be able to do, but it's still worth it, discard these 3 cards to get rid of the Sonic Converter. Do not want to deal with that. Thank you very much. Then I think we'll discard our Cosmic Flight here to generate 1 resource here for our energy channel. And we'll attack for 2, and all that's going to do is remove the tough status card, or yeah, token off of Klaw. Iron Man is going to level up. We're going to play both of these using the 3 resources we have here. We have an arc reactor, which we can exhaust to ready Iron Man. So now technically we'll be able to thwart for 6 around if we used Iron Man for that. And we have our Mach 5 helmet. Exhaust Mach 5 helmet, remove 1 threat from a scheme, or from each scheme instead if you have the aerial trait. I wish I had 1 more card so I could go aerial, but not yet. I'm going to exhaust the power gauntlets and use vision, and essentially kill vision, to do a total of 3 points of damage and take out the armored guard. Then I'm going to go ahead and use our helmet to remove 1 of the 4 threat on the scheme. Then I'm going to use Iron Man 1 time for 3 thwart. That's going to fully remove all of the threat on the scheme. So we have no threat whatsoever. I will exhaust the arc reactor to ready Iron Man. Then I'm going to flip Iron Man to Tony Stark's side. He's ready. I'm then going to exhaust him to go ahead and heal myself by 3. We'll go from 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm just trying to get myself a little bit of breathing room. And we're doing really well on threat, so I thought, a good time to do it. We'll end the round by readying everybody, and let's draw up. So Tony will draw 6, Captain Marvel will draw 5. Here we have our hands. Now, unfortunately, Tony did have to shuffle. So that means he will grab 1 encounter card, and he will be revealing 2 during the encounter phase. Moving to the threat phase, we will place 3 threat on the underground distribution, thanks to this acceleration token. Klaw will be attacking Captain Marvel, but Tony will have Hawkeye jump in the way. So Hawkeye is blocking. We have 1, 2, and this says deal 1 damage to each hero. Okay, the only hero out is Captain Marvel. She'll go down to 6. Tony Stark isn't a hero, but still 2 damage is enough to kill Hawkeye, so Hawkeye's toast. Klaw will now thwart for Tony, so that's 2 plus 2. So he just thwarted for 4. Ow. We literally had 0 threat on the scheme at the end of the round, of the hero phase. We now have 7. You can see how it accelerates. So you got to watch that. We now have 3 encounter cards, 1 for Captain Marvel and 2 for Iron Man. So Captain Marvel's a weapon runner, and that surges into attached to Klaw. It gains retaliate 1. Okay, so it doesn't add to his attack, but every time we attack him now, he will do a point of damage until we get rid of this. That's really annoying. For Iron Man, we have Radioactive Man. We just took care of him. And we're an alter ego. Discard 1 card at random from your hand. Ooh. Okay, so we'll shuffle up. And we will lose First Aid. We'll end this round by moving our first player token back over to Tony. I think overall we're doing okay. I was hoping that we could push a little bit more, but I kind of had to stall with Captain Marvel. She really needs more set up, and she does it. So hopefully I can do that before we get overwhelmed by threat. Let's move to Tony. First thing we're going to do our futurist action. Draw our top 3 cards. Oh, another Supersonic Punch. Yeah, Supersonic Punch, go into our hand, other 2 to the discard pile. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and flip over to Iron Man's side. Let's have a little fun, shall we? These rocket boots denote you can do a hero action to exhaust a rocket boot and spend 1 mental resource, gain the aerial trait until the end of the phase. So I'm going to go ahead and spend this first aid, exhausting the rocket boots to make myself aerial. Essentially, we're up in the air now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these 2 resources to pay for a Supersonic Punch. Normally, that punch would only do 4 points of damage, deal 4 damage. However, you can deal 8 damage if you have the aerial trait. 8 damage will one-shot this radioactive man. Then I'll go ahead and use my power gauntlets. Now, I can deal 2 damage if I'm aerial, so that 2 damage will take out this weapons runner. Then I'll use my Mach 5 armor. I'll remove 1 of the threat that's on the underground distribution. I could remove more if there was more schemes out, but there aren't, so that's what I'm going to do there. And then with Iron Man and our arc reactor, I will be able to thwart for 6, and that will remove all of the threat on the scheme. I can do that because I've got a +1 for thwarting, and this lets me ready Iron Man, so I can do that twice. So there's now nothing, there's no threat on the scheme. For Captain Marvel, I'm going to go ahead and discard Heroic Intuition, generate or heal myself by 1 for that, and draw a card. And we have Energy Channel. Oh, I already have 1 Energy Channel out. And I think annoyingly enough, we're going to try and get rid of this. So we're going to spend 1 of each of the resources so that we can get rid of the, what is this called? Solid Sound Body. Eventually, Captain Marvel will actually be able to do something cool. It's going to happen. Captain Marvel then will just hit Klaw for a whopping 2 points of damage. Hey, he's down to 23. We'll get there. We've ended the round, readied everybody, and you can see here Iron Man has 7 cards. It's time to have some fun next round. And then for Captain Marvel, she has 5. We'll place our 3 threat. Perfect. I've got no allies out, so for these attacks, I'm just going to have to take it hero style. So Klaw's going to attack for 1 undefended, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Iron Man. That means he's at 3 health. And then for Captain Marvel, it is just for 2. Oh, that's not bad. She'll go down to 5. We'll go ahead and draw our encounter cards. We have advanced the villain schemes. So we've got Klaw scheming for 2 plus 1 is 3. So that moves to 6 threat on the scheme. And then for Captain Marvel, we have Armored Guard. Okay, he'll just get a tough status, and we can't attack Klaw until we get rid of him. Before that, we do have to move the first player token back over to Captain Marvel. First thing Captain Marvel's going to do, heal herself up by 1 with her Reed Channel, and she'll go ahead and draw another card, and she's got a Haymaker. Sweet. She's then going to use her ability, or her attack, just to get rid of the tough status card. And then what we're going to do is one-shot this guy with a Haymaker and a Genius. That's a 2 cost. That's 3 damage. The Armored Guard, toast. We're not done. We're also going to do that to Klaw. Klaw will go down to 20. I almost forgot. Since we defeated a minion, we can exhaust Interrogation Room and remove 1 threat from the scheme. And I think the final thing we're going to do is we're actually going to swap ourselves over to Carol Danvers. And what we're going to do is we're going to give that card draw to Tony. We want Tony to have a huge turn this round. So Tony's going to go ahead and draw 1, and he gets a Genius. Sweet. First things first, we're going to go ahead and exhaust our rocket boots, spend 1 resource mental. We are now aerial. Let's have some fun. We'll get our power gauntlets down, spending 2 from this Genius. We now have 2 power gauntlets. Yes. We're going to hit the big man for a total of 8 damage. 2 resources here. Supersonic Punch. That will put him down to 12. I like it. Then we're going to pay for a Repulsor Blast with a Repulsor Blast. So this Repulsor Blast, first time you're seeing this. Hero action. Deal 1 damage to an enemy and discard the top 5 cards of your deck. For each printed energy resource discarded this way, deal 2 additional damage. So here's my 5 cards. Let's see. No, man. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is not a printed resource, even though it's wild. It's not a printed energy resource. But we just did 7 damage. 7 will put Klaw down to 5 health. We'll then go ahead and exhaust both of our power gauntlets. They'll each do 2 damage because we're still aerial. So that puts Klaw down to 1 health. We will then hit him with Iron Man to 0. Then we'll use the arc reactor to ready him. At 0, we will now move Klaw to his 2.0 version. You can see here Klaw now will have 3 as a scheme, 2 for an attack. He gets a tough status card, and he'll come in with 44 health. We're still not done, though. We're going to go ahead and use Iron Man one more time to do 1 point of damage and get rid of this tough status. And then our Mark V helmet will exhaust that to reduce our underground distributions threat from 5 down to 4. Unfortunately, you guys, I did not think this all the way through. I have a whopping 3 health, so I'm not going to be able to defend against an attack. So I'm going to have to flip over to Tony Stark's side. Oh, but that means that we're pretty much guaranteed to get pushed to the next scheme card. That's okay. I think we're doing pretty well. We're already at his level 2. Yeah, and you know what? We don't have to do this futurist, but it might be kind of nice. I want to find an ally, so I've got some people to defend for me. We'll go ahead and draw the top 3 cards. We'll put 1 in our hand. Sweet, there's a Mockingbird. So we'll put this in our hand, discard the other 2. Well, we're each in our alter ego form. Not a great idea, but it is what it is. We do, though, each have 6 cards in hand. Unfortunately, Carol did have to shuffle, so she will be drawing 2 encounter cards this round, as she drew 1 right now. Okay, let's move to the villain phase. We've got ourselves 4 threat on the scheme. We will change that by adding 3, so we have 7. Then we'll go ahead and do our scheming. 7 plus 3 from Klaw. Oh my gosh, 6. We just added 6 more, 5 and 6. That is more than enough to move to the next scheme card. Klaw has found a buyer for his illegal weapons. It is up to you to stop the sale, but the meeting is surrounded by Klaw's cronies. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player, which would be Captain Marvel. So we'll discard. Okay, that's nice. That's not that, not that. Nope. Nope. Oh my gosh. Look at all these cards. Okay, we've got a Tiger Shark that's now engaged with Carol Danvers. Here's the thing, we're not done. Klaw is going to scheme for 3 plus 1 is 4 more for Iron Man. Oh man, that was a little risky, you guys. I mean, I'm okay, but jeez. Yeah, it can get out of hand quickly. Here we have our 3 cards. We'll start with Carol. So these are both Carol Danvers. We have business problems. Okay, this has to go to Tony. It says you may flip to alter ego. He's already there. Exhaust Tony Stark. Remove business problems from the game. Exhaust each upgrade you control. Discard this obligation. I'm going to go ahead and just exhaust Tony, and we'll remove this from the game. See ya. Okay, our second card we have... This is Illegal Arms Factory. When revealed, place an additional, so we have placed a total of 5 threat here, and this just says if we don't get rid of this, we're drawing an additional encounter card during the encounter phase. Okay, and then our third one, we have the Immortal Klaw. Well, we know what this is. That's going to give Klaw plus 10 hit points. So he's now at 54, and we've got another acceleration token. Okay, and this will get a total of 6 threat, if I remember right. 5 and 1. Pathetic that I know that, but yes. Okay, great. Finally, we'll move first player back over to Iron Man. I personally always feel like it's a great idea to start off with Maria Hill. We're going to play Maria Hill using Strength. We each get to draw 1 card, so Tony will draw the Power of Leadership, and Carol Danvers will draw Genius. Nice. We're then going to go ahead and play Mockingbird, spending these 3 resources so that we can then stun Klaw. Super helpful right now when he is really powerful. Tony is exhausted, but I think I'm going to go ahead and flip him anyways. We're then going to use our Arc Reactor to ready him. So the Arc Reactor is exhausted and Iron Man is ready. We'll then go ahead and use our Rocket Boots, spend this 1 wild resource, which can be considered as a mental resource, so we are now aerial. Here we have all of our fun. So we'll do the Mach 5 armor. We're aerial, so we'll remove 1 from the Immortal Klaw, 1 from the Illegal Arms Factory, which will go from 5 down to 4. Immortal Klaw has 5 threat left, and then 1 on the Rendezvous, which only has 3 threat left. Then we'll go ahead and use both Power Gauntlets. That will do 4 damage of the 6 to the Tiger Shark. So the Tiger Shark has only 2 health left. Then we're going to go ahead and thwart with Maria Hill. She'll take 1 point of damage. That will remove 2 from the Illegal Arms Factory. Then we'll go ahead and thwart with Iron Man. He will then remove the remaining on the illegal arms factory, so we do not need to draw an additional encounter card. Totally worth it. And then we'll go ahead and use Mockingbird, and she'll take a point of damage. And we will remove 1 from the Immortal Claw, so that will go from 5 down to 4. Carol says, not bad, Iron Man. First thing is, Carol will go ahead and get a card draw from her ability. Oh, the Photonic Blast. Sweet. She's going to go ahead and pay for her Alpha Flight Station with Tenacity. That will then allow her to exhaust this. We will discard the other Tenacity card, so we can draw 2 cards. That's such an amazing card. Oh, we got Jessica Jones and Crisis Interdiction. We're definitely going to start powering up our energy channel. We will spend 3 energy resources, so that will put 4 tokens on here. We'll flip ourselves over to Captain Marvel. We're going to spend these 3 resources to go ahead and put out Jessica Jones. She right now has 2 thwart because there's 1 side scheme out. And so let's go ahead and use her. We'll give her a point of damage. We're going to move 2 out of the 4 on Immortal Claw. We'll then use the Helicarrier and the Photonic Blast to do Crisis Interdiction. That will allow us to remove 2 threat from a scheme. We don't have aerial trait, but that will then take care of the Immortal Claw. That's done, and Claw goes back down to a measly 44 threat, or health. We'll then attack with Captain Marvel for 2 damage. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. The Tiger Shark is toast. We've got our Interrogation Room, so that means we get to remove 1 threat from the Rendezvous, Dangerous Rendezvous. And what the heck? I want to do 8 damage. Let's do it. Energy Channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's now at 36. That's all that's left. We can do it. Here's our hands for the next round. We do have to grab another encounter card for Iron Man because he did have to shuffle. That's already his 2nd time. Moving to the threat phase, first thing first, we increase threat by 3, so we have 5 total here. Klaw will try and attack Iron Man. He's stunned, so that won't happen. And then he tries to attack Captain Marvel. Marvel's got 6 health. Let's just take it. She's got the Weapons Runner. So what happens with the Weapons Runner? You have to put him into play engage with you, and then he gets to attack because minions attack second. This doesn't have a boost. So she was just hit for 2 damage, so she'll go to 4. But then the Weapons Runner's in front of her. Now, you haven't seen this because I've usually taken care of my minions. But when there's a minion in front of you, and you are in your hero form, they attack you, they don't get a boost. So he'll just attack for 1. She'll just take it on the chin for 3 total health remaining. We have our 3 encounter cards, 2 for Iron Man, 1 for Captain Marvel. So we'll start with Iron Man's. We've got Melter. Yeah, we've seen him before. 5 health. We should be able to take him out. Our second one, Sound Manipulation. Take 2 damage. Claw heals 2 damage. Oh, that's going to be tight. 38, and we're down to 1 health. Yeah, we should probably heal at some point. And then for Captain Marvel, she's got Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Nah, that's fine. We'll discard Interrogation Room. Finally, we'll move our first player back over to Captain Marvel. First things first, we're going to go ahead and heal ourselves with our re-channel. We'll go up to 4 health, discard this Interrogation Room that's in our hand, and we will draw a card, and we have Haymaker. We're going to go ahead and just use Jessica Jones, and she'll take a point of damage, and we'll take out that Weapons Runner. Let's go ahead and use a Photonic Blast. We're going to deal 5 damage, spending these 3 resources, and we are spending an energy resource, so we get to draw a card, and we get an energy card. Sweet. 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 33 health. And what do you say we do 3 more using our energy and another Haymaker? That'll put us down to 30. And then I think we'll go ahead and use Captain Marvel, and that will knock him down to 28. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to Carol Danvers' side, and I'm going to use my action to allow Iron Man to draw a card. We're going to be a little risky, but I think we need to. Oh, we got a helicarrier. We're going to go ahead and spend Nick Fury as a mental resource to go aerial again. And then using Mockingbird and our 2 power gauntlets, who will now each do 2 damage. That's a total of 5. That'll take care of Melter. We'll then go ahead and use Iron Man twice, thanks to the arc reactor, and remove all threat from the scheme, so there's no threat on the secret rendezvous. Then we're going to go ahead and do 2 supersonic punches. We're going to deal a total of 16 damage. So here's our 4 resources for our 2 supersonic punches. 16 damage puts us down to 12 total health remaining on Klaw. And for good measure, we're going to discard Vision as 1 resource for first aid, and we're going to heal ourselves up to 3. Just so that we don't die, just in case. We've drawn up our hands. Iron Man has 7, Carol Danvers has 6. If we can survive this encounter phase, I think we might be able to do it. 12 damage, I think we can do with Iron Man and Carol Danvers. Let's do it. Our first step is placing 3 threat on the main scheme. Then we have Klaw. Klaw will be scheming for Carol Danvers. So he's scheming for 3. This says if this activation deals damage. No, it doesn't. Sweet. So 3 just puts us to 6 total on here. And then we're going to have Klaw attack. And I think I'm going to have Iron Man. I'm going to have Mockingbird defend. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Mockingbird is toast. But that's why she's there. There are only 2 cards left in the encounter deck. So before I forget, I'm going to place another acceleration token on here. So now we're going to be placing 4 around. Here we have our encounter cards. Let's do Carol's first. Oh, we have Exhaustion. Surge, exhaust your identity card. Oh, so Carol becomes exhausted, and we have to draw a new card. And we have the Illegal Arms Factory. Oh, yeah. So this will just have 5 total threat on it. That's not bad. I'm hoping I can ignore that. And our card for Iron Man, we have Assault. The villain attacks you. This is why we have Maria Hill. So we're getting attacked. Maria Hill's going to defend. And we've got deal 1 damage to each hero. Oh, so that's just Iron Man. So Iron Man will go down to 2 because Carol is in Alter Ego form. And Maria Hill gets attacked for 3, so she's dead. Finally, we'll move our first player token back over to Iron Man. 12 damage. Let's see if we can do it. Carol's going to go ahead and use her ability at the beginning of Iron Man's turn to let him draw a card, and he gets Make the Call. Iron Man has 2 Repulsor Blasts. I'm going to go ahead and spend these 2 resources, and we're dealing a minimum of 2 damage plus, well, we'll see. So 1 damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Done. Iron Man just Repulsor Blast him. That is sweet. Well, there you have it. That was Captain Marvel and Iron Man against Klaw. It was a little bit longer than I was thinking. I got a little tight a couple times, but yeah, it was actually still pretty straightforward. I've got 1 more in the core set, and I believe sometime this week Green Goblin will be coming, and my favorite hero of all time, Captain America, will be coming as well, so I'm excited to show you guys that. I do plan to play all of these on the channel at some point, so thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if I made any errors, but yeah, I will see you at the next stop.